And the chair recognises the member for Durack.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I'm very pleased to rise in the House today to speak on this matter of public importance, to set the record straight and to smash yet another one of the myths started by the increasingly irrelevant Labor Party. Australia is on track to meet and beat our 2020 target to cut emissions by 5% below 2000 levels. This was confirmed in figures yesterday by the Department of Environment. Only yesterday. Deputy Speaker, Australia has a strong, credible and significant emissions reduction target. We've heard about it today from the Minister, 26 to 28% below 2005 levels by 2030. Our emissions will be up to 52% lower on a per capita basis, the equal largest reduction of any G20 country.
That's right.
Currently, Australia is the 14th largest emitter. However, after taking into account all countries' commitments, we dropped to being the 25th largest emitter by 2030. That's real action by the Turnbull government.
It is.
Whether you believe so-called climate change is due to human behaviour or planetary motion or ocean currents or solar variability, etc., to me, Deputy Speaker, is not the point. My view is that governments all around the world should focus its efforts to ensure that the environment in which we live is in better shape tomorrow than it was yesterday. Australia has one of the most effective systems in the world for reducing emissions, and with the Environment Minister Greg Hunt at the helm, we have led the way.
That's right.
The world is rejecting carbon taxes and embracing direct action style approaches involving practical actions to reduce emissions. When it comes to renewable energy, the Turnbull government yet again has a solid record. We've reaffirmed our strong commitment to supporting household solar. We in Australia have the highest proportion of households with solar panels in the world, with about 15%. Nearly double that of the next highest country, being Belgium, at around 70.5%. But, Mr Deputy Speaker, like most other portfolios, the Labor Party doesn't have a plan to tackle climate change.
I think they do.
Just whinge, or nothing new in particular. They stand up, and we've heard them today make a big song and dance about the government's plan, yet they don't have a policy in the area themselves, or none that they share to commit that might be new. In the last 5 years, the Labor Party have had five different policies, while we on this side of the chamber, we've had one strong, consistent and effective policy. As for the Watermelon Party, our Greens, let's face it, we all know, green on the outside but red on the inside. As we see election after election, they preface their partners in crime on the other side. They are grossly irresponsible. They want to reduce emissions by 60 to 80% by 2030. But how? The question remains. While in government together last term, Labor and the Greens presided over a series of waste, mismanagement and bungles.
That's right.
Who could forget the carbon tax? Their big idea for dealing with climate change. This tax did little to improve the environment, but created a huge impost on the cost of energy in this country, which, Deputy Speaker, had the greatest impact on the most vulnerable members of our community, for those whom opposites say that they represent. What a joke.
How did manufacturing go with you guys?
Of course, the biggest flaw is that the carbon tax was a local tax, Deputy Speaker. If global warming is the problem it was trying to solve, then by definition we require a global solution. That is why Australia must join with the international community to determine how to achieve a long-term global reduction in CO2 emissions. Now, while we're talking about those opposite, who could forget the home insulation program, which was linked to the deaths of 4 people, 224 home fires and 70,000 repairs. It's worth repeating because it was Australia's greatest embarrassment, Deputy Speaker. The bungled the green loans, 3 independent reports found extensive mismanagement.
You're right, Pat.
Let's not forget the Citizens' Assembly. What a fabulous initiative. A 2010 election promised to assemble 15 citizens to discuss ways to tackle climate change, which was dumped just weeks after the election. What a shameful waste. So, Deputy Speaker, as you can see, clearly the government has made significant inroads in addressing climate and change and improving our environment. Our current policies are working and we will meet our 2020 and 2030 targets. As we've heard today, the Department of Environment has released a formal emissions update on our 2020 target, which shows that we're on track to beat our 2020 target by a whopping 28 million tonnes. That's what I call good government.
That is.
Thank you, Member for Durack, for a contribution.